Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today, as you can see for the title for this, I am gonna recommend books based on Genshin Impact characters. At least I'm gonna try. I have picked out 6 characters and 6 books, and I got some help from my friend Erica because I have in theory been playing the game for a few months, but I haven't played a lot because I've taken a lot of breaks. I'm only adventure rank 35, so I'm quite new to the whole thing. But I do think the characters are beautiful and I think the game is beautiful and really fun, even though a bit trash, trash in a good way. But it's just a beautiful game. I feel like I'm in an anime, which is kind of, the whole point. And not the whole point, but you got what I mean. And I'm adoring it. So I thought, let's recommend some books based on characters. Actually, Erica thought so. I just didn't know what to film and she suggested this and I was like, you so smart. Erica looked in for me for some traits for the different characters that they're known for, and I tried to fit some books for them. Some fit really well, I think. Some fit they fit, but they also feel completely different from the vibe from the character. So that's a bit funny. But yeah, I would recommend these books if you like these characters, even though all the books have really different vibes as well. So let's get into it. So first off, we have Raiden Shogun, of course, my queen, my purple sword boob lady. I love her so much. I knew who she was even before I started the game because Erica kept showing her to me. She seemed like someone I would like. She's purple. The things she seems to stand for a lot is eternity and power and deity. She's a powerful old being. She creates a bit of chaos and stuff like that. And for that, I thought the vibes of Poppy War by R.F. Kuang fit really well for the book. This book is actually a horrific book that has a war in it. And it follows Rin, who is really, really poor out in the countryside. And she's going to be married away to this old dude. She doesn't want to, so she studies really hard and gets into Sandegard, which is the most prestige military academy in the land, and she can go there for free, and then she doesn't need to marry the dude. Then a war breaks out once again, and it is absolutely brutal, absolutely terrible, but not just that. There is contact with the gods here. They want chaos. They want to be free. There is so much with gods and power and some that live for a long time, etc. Eternity and stuff like that. And I feel those vibes fit really well with this book. But it is also a very, very serious book. And it has a lot of trigger warnings for violence and rape and just so much horrific stuff happens in it. So be careful of that. But I definitely think if it's the vibes for the character, that's the first pick. And the next character we have is Xiangli, aka Geodaddy, and I love him. I don't have him. I'm really sad about it. I started a game I think right after he had been on a banner. It was a depressing time. The things Erica decided he is really known for is to have a long life, war, protector, and his colors are orange and brown. And here we have a kind of brownie book. Brownie, that was the wrong word, but brownish color book, which is Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. This is actually a YA romance, which is a bit ironic. I feel Xiangli is more strong and I don't know how to describe it, so the vibes are very different. And this is also a Fae book. So there's that, but it's really great. So we have a main character, which I had not remember the name of, and she paints real human sorrow into an elf's eyes. He gets really pissed and she needs to face consequences for this, and then need to go to Fairyland to go to the court so she can be punished. And when they do this, there's generally a journey story, and when they do this, he needs to protect her the whole way through. And it's just a lot of magical creatures and different dangers they meet, and they also have to go to court, and there's really a lot of tension there, so war may be brewing. And obviously the elf that needs to protect her has lived for a really long time. He's really old, so long life fits really well. So I thought all those vibes spoke to me about this book, which is, I don't know, funny because it feels like two different things, but they have all those things in common. But yeah, that is my recommendation, and I think it's hilarious. I don't know why. And then we have Venti, who is a cutie little bard, or is he? He just pretending he's a known bard, but people don't know it's Venti. So it's more undercover, and his color is green and stuff like that. The book I have kind of fit those vibes, Venti plays on his flute, etc. So I picked out The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, which is a really, really known fantasy book, which is adult. Our main character is telling the story of his life in this tavern he now owns. And it's basically like people don't know who he is. So, you know, undercover a bit. And he's like kind of hiding away because he has all these known names. He comes to this point in his life where he was known for a billion things. But now he lives like far away, kind of like trying to live a chill life. You know, a bit like Venti. Also in the book, our main character is going to go to this magic school to like be taught himself magic. Like this is the beginning of his life, etc. And when he goes there, he needs to play the flute a lot to... Is it even a flute? Is it a harp or a flute? Actually, excuse me. Either way, he needs to play an instrument a lot to survive and like to get money to keep going to the school. And I think like those things alone fit really well for the vibe. Obviously, this is more like, I would say like grim compared to Venti, who's really like cute and happy. While this is more like grim and dark and sad. But it seems like Venti also have, you know, a sad side, a darker side. So it can speak to that side of him. It's a really solid, huge fantasy book. The second book is also out. The third book we are waiting for 100 years, but haven't actually read the second book yet. But yeah, I thought that that would be a cool recommendation for Venti. Just like, you know, the whole hiding away stuff, and yeah. I hope that makes sense. Then we have Kamisato Ayato, which I love to play because he is so good. And his traits were more like from a rich family, hardworking, taking down corrupt government. But he's also a really, really good swordsman, which is like his prominent trait. So I was trying to think about like books where we have like strong swordsmen in them. So I just went with Flame in the Mist by Renee Adier. And if you have the paperback cover, which I will pop right here, that is blue, and blue is his color, so that fits really well. They cover changed, okay, so that's why I have this. This is a YA fantasy, and it actually follows, what's her name, Mariko, and she's gonna marry a noble. She's from a rich family, and then she almost gets murdered on the way there to meet him. Not even a noble, she's gonna marry the prince, if I remember correctly. She believes that this black clan is behind it, so she tries to infiltrate them to take them down from the inside, and she gets to know them, and they are all like a bit like rough bands, you know, like rough side of society, and they are like, one of them is like the best swordsman ever, so there's that. And they all like, you know, eventually will maybe realize stuff about the government, so, you know, taking down corrupt government definitely comes into this. So I think it fits really well. It's a duology. It's the first one in the series. It does have a romance, of course, but I thought it was really, really fun. Our main character is a bit stupid in the beginning, you know, but I wouldn't say that she's the Ayato for the story. It's just the vibes generally for the book that fits for Ayato. She's a bit naive, that's the word, but she does grow, I think, and it grows into a really, really fun duology. So I do recommend it, and I thought it fit for his character. It's also Japanese inspired, so that also fits really well, you know. Then we have Yamiko, who I love. She was, I think, my first 4-star. I think her banner was out when I made my character. So whenever that was, then you know how long I've been playing. And she is, you know, a shrine maiden. Bookshop or publishing company owner. Definitely don't have that in this book. And she's also a kitsune, which I think, you know, is a very important trait to her, which is why I, of course, am recommending Shadow of the Fox, which literally follows a half kitsune character. And it is also a Japanese mythology inspired. And in this world, we have this dragon skull that comes to life every 1,000 years. And then 1,000 years ago, everyone split those pieces everywhere. So now people are trying to find that because 1,000 years is coming up, and people are trying to find the pieces to wish upon Dragon Scroll. They can make any wish they want. And we have a main character, Yamiko, who is half kitsune, as I said, and she has been raised in a Silent Winds temple. So not a shrine, but still a temple, still a holy place. They are being attacked because they have one piece of the Dragon Scroll. She also meets this samurai, and they need to travel on the road together to find the other pieces. But yeah, it is an amazing, amazing book. I really, really, truly had a lot of fun with it. It is a whole trilogy that's out. It is a great time. So really recommend it, and I think it fits really well for Yamiko. And last but not least, we have Kazuha, who is a samurai, and again, Shadow of the Fox could have fit really well for that, because then we actually have a samurais in them. But I couldn't find any other samurai books that I read in my head. So we went with something completely else. But yeah, we have travel, lost loved ones, boats, and then orange/red. So we have here another kind of orangey, you know, it's a bit orangey on the top. I don't think it's supposed to be. Is it orange? It is. Is it orange or yellow? Look at this. It is definitely supposed to be orange. And as you just saw, I am recommending An Ember and Ashes by Tabata here. So, An Ember Ashes is actually set in the Empire where they control everyone and everything. And then we have Laya, who is one of the scholars who is like suppressed by the Empire people. Her whole family is killed, so then we have lost loved ones, and her brother is sent to prison, and she needs to spy on a commandant who is like the leader of the Empire's army to have the rebellion help her save her brother from prison. Then we also follow Elias, who is one of the masks of the Empire. So they are basically like the most elite soldiers. They basically like ninjas. They are amazing and great. But he doesn't want to be a mask. He wants to like get out of this. So again, not a samurai, but really, really like elite warriors with swords and blades. I'm counting it. So lost loved ones, it's definitely a prominent thing here. It's basically everything that happens. It is completely and utterly devastating and depressing, but we love to see it. And then the travel part, definitely there's a lot of like traveling at a certain point in the book. So I thought the vibes fit here. It's definitely a different kind of setting. It's more like Roman Empire-esque than, you know, like Japanese Empire-esque. But it's definitely like a book I think could still fit in the vibes and has like those tropes I just talked about. And yeah, and also the orange. So it has the color, at least this edition does. There's several covers. So I thought this fit, and it's also one of my favorite series. I mean, so is Pop War, if I forgot to say. So I will recommend this wholeheartedly. It will break your heart in pieces, and you will have a great time doing it. Yay. I don't know why I don't read samurai books. I should find some more like in the vibes that I like. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I made like sense, because I was trying to like explain why I picked the books. Wasn't the easiest, but yeah, I am having a great time in Genshin. I'm having a great time with books, and I try to mix the both of them. Leave a fox emoji down below if you enjoyed this, and you will see me soon in a new one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!